Merry meet my fellow bookish witches. Welcome to Witchy Reads, a place where we talk about books and other bookish things. Today, we are doing another book tag. I absolutely love doing book tag videos. It always manages to make me think more deeply about my consumption of books, reading habits, and who I am as a reader and reviewer. A little introspective is nice every once in a while. So today I will be doing the book acquiring tag. I was tagged by Vin's Book Corner in his book acquiring tag video. I'll link his video down in the description below. I highly recommend that you go check it out, along with checking out his channel and other videos. He does some really great book reviews. There are 10 questions for this book tag. Let's get started. Question 1. Do you plan your book purchases ahead of time or impulse buy? Most of the time, my book purchases are in the spur of the moment. Very rarely do I plan in advance the books that I purchase. I will admit there are a few exceptions for this. If there is a book I am excited about, I will go out of my way to either pre-order if it's not released yet, or if I am recommended a book, been really sold on it and want to read it immediately. There are also instances where I will purchase the book that is chosen for the month for my book club. That has become far more rare now as I am trying to utilize the library more. Question 2. How do you decide what books to buy? My book buying habits differ based on where I am purchasing my books, be it in a brick and mortar store or online. When I'm in a physical bookstore, the first thing that always draws me in, like I would assume it does for most readers, is the book cover. This is part of the reason why I am bummed that a lot of book covers recently have gone the way of being generic. It's also why I get really excited when I happen to stumble upon a book cover that really catches my eye. From there, I will read the book description, and if that sells me, then I'll read the first page. Shopping for books in bookstores is an entire process for me. When I buy books online or digitally, I usually only get the book cover and description, which is fine. If I end up enjoying the book, I usually buy a physical copy for my shelf anyway. When it comes to audiobooks, I use my Audible account exclusively and primarily use it for my nonfiction reads. Those usually come about when I hear about them in the news, or if there is a celebrity that I like that has written a book that sounds interesting to me. This is the only circumstance where book covers don't play a key role in the selection process. Question 3. What is your philosophy on where you shop? Online versus in person, large versus small, physical, digital, or audio, new versus used, etc. I do prefer bookstores. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to go on a regular basis for the last few years due to world events, then having a kid. For the most part, I've resorted to online purchases, but I always try to purchase from online bookstores versus Amazon. I primarily like going to thriftbooks.com and bookshop.org. I'll put the links for those websites down in the description below in case anyone is interested in checking those out. I also have a subscription with Book of the Month, which I love utilizing. I don't plan on canceling that subscription anytime soon. As far as new and used books go, I actually like the aesthetic of both used and new books. I don't really go out of my way to purchase one over the other. I don't avoid used books simply because of them looking worn down. I primarily like going to used bookstores because of that worn look. To me, when a book is worn, that means that people have read it a lot and it is very loved by readers. Question 4. What about little free libraries? What do you think about them? Have you used one? Why or why not? I adore adore little free libraries. In fact, once I end up in my own permanent home, I would like to start one of my own. I have used one back when I lived in California, and it was great. It's the reason why I got my copy of A Darker Shade of Magic by V.E. Schwab, and I am forever grateful for that trade. Question 5. How do you feel after acquiring a book? Do you share like in a book haul or diary? How do I feel after I acquire a book? In a word, amazing. That dopamine rush is like nothing I have experienced in my life. I do sometimes share my book purchases in the form of book hauls, though I don't do it as often as others do. Up until now, I just didn't really have the time or organizational skills to pull that off. I think I have 2 books currently from Book of the Month that I haven't even opened yet. I was debating on doing a book haul video for, but I think ultimately I'm going to decide not to do that this time around. While I think book haul videos are very fun, sometimes I just don't feel like sharing. It really just depends on my mood. Question 6. How do you feel looking at your books that you haven't read? Does it matter if it's currently a lot or a small amount? Look, I plan on getting to each of them eventually. The books that are currently on my shelf are obviously a lot harder to ignore because they are right there. They are also harder to read with a rambunctious toddler. My toddler also likes to read a lot, which I love, but whenever he sees me reading, he basically goes, "Oh, Mama wants to read. I have the perfect book for you to read, Mama," and goes and gets his favorite book for me to read to him. He's adorable. All this to say that yes, I feel bad that I have books I haven't read, but I do plan on getting to them, like I said, eventually. My main goal is to have my bookshelf stocked with books I love. I'm in my quality over quantity book era. I'm a little ashamed to admit that I usually ignore the books I have saved up on my Kindle. This is more of an out of sight, out of mind situation though. Unless it is a book that I plan on reading in the moment, they will likely stay in the void of my Kindle until I have read all of my physical books. So they'll be waiting a long while to get to. I don't think any amount of unread books necessarily bothers me, at least not yet. I would say in comparing my hoard to other readers / booktubers, I have a pretty manageable pile. I'm comfortable with it. Question 7. How do you decide what number of unread books is the right amount? I have not counted my unread books, nor do I plan to. I do not think there is a right or wrong amount of unread books. I'm very much a live your bookish life the way you want kind of bookish witch. I do not plan on holding back on purchasing books, no matter the amount I already have. If I had my way, I would have an entire library in my home. Fingers crossed I get my Beauty and the Beast library in the near future. Question 8. Do you have a TBR game or process for reading them? For regular viewers of my channel, you will know that I did try to set up a TBR process that leaned into my witchiness. The only thing it ended up doing was prove without a doubt that I am in fact a mood reader, which basically just means that I pick up books based on how I'm feeling in the moment. If it triggers a response in me that makes me want to pick it up, then I do. This makes any strict TBR list hard for me to follow through on. I tried. It's just not for me. I guess I should use this moment to say I won't be making any more TBR selection videos going forward. I'm going to continue doing what I've been doing when it comes to selecting books to read. That is doing it based on feeling and my mood. I really enjoy the feeling I get when I find a book I want to immediately read. Restricting myself to a required list will diminish that feeling, which I would never want. Question 9. Do you have a book buying problem? If so, what is the nature of it and can it be adjusted? The Google definition of problem is a matter or situation regarded as unwelcome or harmful and needing to be dealt with and overcome. I wouldn't classify my book buying as unwelcome or harmful or needing to be dealt with, and I don't plan on overcoming it. So then I thought maybe the better word would be compulsion, an irresistible urge to behave in a certain way, especially against one's conscious wishes. It is very much my conscious wish to keep buying books. I think labeling it an addiction or obsession is a bit too intense. Fixation might be a better description, an obsessive interest in or feeling about someone or something. But that still feels a little strong. Then I found the perfect word: craving, a powerful desire for something. Yep, that fits. And no, I don't think it can be adjusted, nor do I want it to be. Then we have question 10, which is to simply tag 2 or 3 others to ponder their book buying process. I haven't really given a thought as to who I'm going to tag for this, so I'm just gonna list them here once I figure it out. Yeah. So if you're there, tag, you're it. I would definitely like to see what your answers are for your book acquiring habits. This book tag was a great way to dive deep into my relationship with books, how I purchase them, what books I allow in my home and in my life on a regular basis. This is why I love doing book tag videos. Another quick thank you to Vin's Book Corner for tagging me in his video. I greatly appreciate it. And if you want to tag me in other book tags, I will be glad to do these videos for as long as I am tagged in them. What are your book acquiring habits? Are any of them similar to mine? Let me know down in the comments below. If you enjoy my videos and would like to support my channel, the best way to do that right now is to like this video, subscribe to my channel, and share any videos that you particularly like. It really is a huge help, and I greatly appreciate it. Until our next chapter together, merry part and blessed be.